أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون صلوات. As you all know, we've gathered here today to commemorate the days of Arba'in of Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. And these days are very special because we start from the beginning, the first day of Muharram, and we finish on the 40th day of Muharram. But Imam Husayn never leaves our hearts. We always remember him and we always think about him. But there are many ways in which we can remember Imam Husayn. And one of those ways I want to discuss today is a method and an action. For example, love. Love is just not a word. We can't just say we love Imam Husayn. It's a verb. It's a way of movement. It's a way of action in our daily lives to love. So we must move towards that love of Imam Husayn. And one way of doing that, as the Quran mentions, is to think. To think is also a verb. And every day of our lives, we must use some portion of our day to think. We are constantly thinking from the minute we wake up in the morning. And we are thinking till the minute we go asleep. We go to sleep. But what type of thinking do we do? There are two types of thinking that I have thought of, and for example, many other books of knowledge have spoken to us. And those two types are regular thinking and critical thinking. Both types of thinking will lead us to conclusions, problem solving, and obviously finding ways to tackle different problems or things that we do in our life. But there are two different types of thinking, and the difference is profound. Regular thinking, we can think of how to make our food. We can think of what to wear to go to work today. And critical thinking is the thinking that the Quran has prescribed to us to practice every day of our life. There are many times we can practice this critical thinking. But what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is a thought in your head which you use and you think upon, you reflect on it, and you think about how you will do something in a higher level of quality. For example, salah. If you, for example, feel that you do not concentrate enough in salah, you should think, where am I going wrong? Find the problems, target the solutions, and make yourself goals in your head in the way you think to overcome these problems. And this is what the Quran says in the verse that I've just recited in Surah Nahl, verse 69. The whole verse itself says, "Then eat of all the fruits and walk in the ways of your Lord submissively. There comes forth from within it a beverage of many colors in which there is a healing for men. More surely there is a sign in this for people who reflect." To reflect, to think. And especially in these days that we gather here together, we listen to many lectures from the Maulanas that come, and we also remember Imam Husayn and his battle that he fought and the battle that is continuing till this day and age. As you can see, a lot of suffering is happening in the world. But that battle itself is not just suffering, it's suffering within our own selves, within our own hearts, within the devil within us, that we always think of doing sometimes wrong, and we're always fighting that devil within us. And Imam Husayn has taught us how to fight this devil. The way to fight this devil is to have full taqwa in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to constantly think and reflect on the words of God. And especially, as you can see, Imam Husayn, for example, on the day of Arafah in his dua, the way he has recited those words towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way he has thought in his mind of how to use these sweet words to remember God and to reflect upon the words himself and to improve his life and to improve the quality of mankind, as he has shown us on the day of Ashra. This topic of thinking can continue for a long time. There are many different aspects why we don't think, when we should think, how we should think, who we should follow in the methods of thinking, for example. But today we have gathered here in the days of Arba'in, and we should remember one man whose name was Imam Zainul Abidin. He was known for his prayers. Allah. He was known for his prayers, he was known for his du'as, and he was known for his reflection and the way he would cry towards his Lord, as would all the imams. But we learn from him, he is the jewel of the people who pray. His du'as show us methods of thinking, methods of remembering God, and these are the ones that we can use to reach the taqwa, the level that Imam Husayn was on the battlefield of Karbala. And when we reach this level, we will reach a connection to God where there is no doubt in our heart. And as God says, "Come to me, O purified soul. And inshallah, we will reach that stage, but through the methods of loving and the methods of thinking. As we all know, Karbala did not finish on the day of Ashura. And the few words that I will leave you with before the main lecture will start is that we should, every day of our lives, remember the battle of Imam Husayn and fight that battle as he fought it in the day and age we are, in the method we can do. And every day we should walk in the footsteps of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam and Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam and Sayyidah Sakina and all the people who are left behind. Walk in the footsteps from Karbala to Sham. And remember that Islam right now is in target in the world. And this should not push us away from our love for Imam Husayn, nor for the love of God, nor for the love of truth. This should actually bring us more closer to the role model that is Imam Husayn and his family, as they did not resist, as they resisted Yazid and did not submit to him. And therefore we should stick to our faith in Islam, and we should move towards God and to the true path in the ways that we can. And we should always think of Imam Husayn. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.